With May on the horizon, we thought it was high time we took Explore Tulsa to the great outdoors by starting the show this week out on the trail.
Then let's see what's cooking.
Followed by a little card counting.
Plus looking good in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Welcome back again for this week's Explore Tulsa.
Trish, you ever do any horseback riding?
No, how about you?
When I was a kid, you better believe it, I'd ride for hours or until I ran out of quarters.
And it's about time we got you back in the saddle. And I know a place that's just as much fun as it is historic.
That can only mean that we're heading out to the town of Lotse, Oklahoma.
Population 6.
Salute! But there is plenty of good times out at the Flying G Ranch.
Well, my job is town clerk. Right now we have 6 people here. My oldest daughter, Erin, is the mayor. My husband's the dog catcher, and we've decided her husband needs to be the sheriff. So that's what's going on right now with Lotse, Oklahoma. We've had 9 at the most and 2 at the fewest. My parents moved up here from Anadarko. They were both born in Anadarko, Indian Territory.
And George was actually the nephew of Charles Page, who founded Sand Springs. And so when he and his wife moved up here, Garnet, her horses didn't want to travel in trailers, so she rode her horses all the way from Anadarko all the way up here to the ranch. And the fact that, you know, the ranch has been here since 1932 makes it, you know, a pretty old ranch around.
Back in the day, it was late 50s. They were working on the Keystone Dam, and Tulsa and Sand Springs saw taxable opportunities out this way because of future development. So they were in a big fight to fence line annex the area, and my parents had let Boy Scout troops come out and camp and church groups have picnics, and they were going to lose that if they were in a township. You'd have to have permits and couldn't build a fire, etc. So he and a friend, they were both attorneys, applied for a town to be chartered here. Basically, it's the ranch, and that way we could set our own rules. And lo and behold, it was granted while they were fighting with one another and making headlines. We had the town of Lotse, Oklahoma, so we're a thriving metropolis. What we do is we sell seed stock, so if someone has a nice herd of cattle, they'll buy a good bull from us to increase the muscle and the meat producing capabilities of their cattle, or they'll buy a set of heifers from us, you know, and then go into the meat production business. So we keep records, really tight records on. We know the genetics for generations back on these cattle. The color of their tag tells me at a glance who their sire was. So the big number on the bottom is their individual identification number. The next number is their birthday, and the top number is their mother's number. So just looking at their tag, we can tell how old the animal is, who his parents are, so that when people come to buy the calves and look at them, we can tell them really quickly without having to put them down the chute, you know, and individually check their numbers. My oldest daughter has an equestrian facility here. She boards horses for people. She does trail rides and she gives lessons.
I loved it. I always knew I would come back here and do something on the ranch. After college, I worked for a few barns and then built my own barn and started boarding and giving lessons and trail rides. When you board, you know, a lot of people live in town or something, or some people, even if they do have a place, they still don't have the room to ride on. There's an indoor arena that they can ride in, there's an outdoor arena that they can ride in, a round pen, and then what's a big draw for here and us is that there's 2,000 acres to trail ride on. So most of our boarders they love the trails, they just like to come out and enjoy their horse and relax and have what they call horse therapy. And so there's not a lot of barns around that have that kind of acreage tied to it where you don't have to trailer somewhere to go ride.
Well, I think it's just the topography of the ranch that makes them unique. I mean, we have valleys that we go into, we have streams that we go through, there's mountains to climb or hills to climb. So it's just the topography of the ranch that is so unique and so close to downtown Tulsa.
We also raise pecans. Some of the trees behind us are pecan trees. We also have 750 acres of trees in Rogers County, And we like to say that we keep my husband out with the nuts and the squirrels because his job every day is to go take care of the pecan orchard. And we have a little shop on the ranch that's open every day, November and December. And in the off season, we're open at one afternoon a week. About half our orchard's paper shell and about half is native. Can't beat the flavor of those natives, but a lot of people want the bigger ones. They're just easier to pick out. We also offer them shelled, but some people like to pick their own out. But the newer varieties really have good flavor. Well, you have to have a good relationship with the man upstairs because everything in agriculture is a blessing from God. It's by His grace that we exist. We're dependent on the weather. We're the biggest gamblers in the world. You're dependent on the market. You're dependent on people you've never met or seen in a state you've never been to buy your product. It's an awesome feeling just to walk out the door and think, what a wonderful day this is, because it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, wet or dry, we love it. It's our lifestyle. It's the best place in the world to raise kids. We try to share when we can with other folks, and it's a nice place to grow up.
Lotzi and her family had so many good stories to tell. You really have to take time for yourself to go out and pay them a visit. Horse riding, pecans, and cattle ranching doesn't get any better.
To enjoy the experience for yourself, visit flying-g-ranch.com to learn more.
It would have been nice, though, to have stuck around long enough for the chuck wagon to come along.
Ooh, we could just go over to Remmi's and see what she has cooking in the kitchen.
That's a great idea, Trish. Cook time with Remmi. It's just ahead when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hello, I'm John Erling with Voices of Oklahoma. Our great state has been home to countless individuals whose place in history has been earned through each of their many accomplishments. Voices of Oklahoma's mission is to preserve their story in an oral history presentation like none other. Accounts direct from famous Oklahomans, political figures, and many others who have left their indelible mark on the development, history, and future of Oklahoma. So please, treat yourself by listening to those who are the voices of Oklahoma.
Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got two great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our two locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I gotta tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Hi there, good to see you back for more Explore Tulsa.
Trying to remember what I had going on when I was 14. Let's see, I still had a huge crush on Nancy Chug. My parents finally let me ride my bike all over town, and some baseball.
What? You didn't have your own TV show yet, Stevie?
Trish, I didn't even have my own TV yet.
Well, could you cook?
I did learn how to make mean cinnamon toast from a Peanuts cookbook.
Well, at just 14, Remmi Smith has her own TV show and a cookbook full of kid-friendly recipes.
Well, cooking is really a lost art form. I think it's just a lost skill that really needs to be brought into this generation and definitely helps them later on in life because, you know, people have to eat food, so, you know, might as well learn how to make it. So I'm making Honduran baleadas, and baleadas are actually a flour tortilla dish. And generally they have some beans in them. So this is my little rendition of it. So what I've done is I've sauteed some onions and garlic and some sirloin in there. Well, actually I was adopted from China when I was 10 months old. I was a very fat baby. I have pictures to prove it. And I've just always loved food my entire life. I mean, the fat baby part's like evidence of that. But even after that, I've always really loved food. When I was like a toddlerish age, I used to always come in the kitchen and eat dinner like before it was dinner time. And so my mom, she put me to work to prevent me from getting rid of dinner before, you know, my sisters could have it. And so I just started washing vegetables, I washed some fruits, and I helped mix salads. And I really just fell in love with working with food, not just eating it. Okay, so we browned our meat, and then I'm gonna add some hatch chilies here. Ooh, and some jalapenos, a little kick in there. And actually, did you know that jalapenos are a great source for vitamin C? When I was 8 years old, we started my web series, Cook Time with Remmi, which was just mainly to get kids to get in the kitchen. But also at the time, we learned about the childhood obesity epidemic and how it was really on the spotlight. And so that's how we focused healthy eating along with getting kids in the kitchen. So my mantra is that kids will eat healthier if they cook healthier. And the reason I like to use sliced sirloin is so that way you don't miss any meat. You eat every bite. Well, actually, we eat with our eyes. So basically, we look at something and we're like, we decide whether we're gonna eat it or not, whether it looks good or not. So you have to make it look the best it can, and so colorful is like, well, more appealing. Recently I did my cookbook, Global Cooking for Kids, and so I really got more to international cuisine, so I've been working with those different kinds of things. Well, I think the cookbook brings a different cultural aspect to many people that don't have it. And also what I've done is actually I got recipes that are common there, ingredients that are common, but they're accessible in the US like easily. So you don't have to go to some grocery store to get this ingredient. And so what I do is something that kids can generally prepare themselves, like they can cut, but I always put caution to it. Like you always have to put your knuckles out like that whenever you cut so you don't cut your finger off. And also caution to using hot appliances like ovens and stoves. And so really all those factors that generally kids and parents are worried about in the kitchen, I put caution to, but I encourage them to try it because you always want to try new things and this will help them get better. Okay, so this is one of my favorite salads. It's a strawberry blueberry salad, super simple to make and it tastes really easy. I'm having a nationwide bake out to support Rachel Ray's 9 Million Meals movement that benefits Feeding America and No Kid Hungry. So basically I'm encouraging kids to get in their kitchen, create their favorite baked goods recipe, so I'm getting kids in the kitchen, and also I'm trying to focus sort of on healthy, but I mean you can't go too crazy. And then have their own bake sale to raise money for Feeding America and No Kid Hungry, and that goes for Rachel Ray's 9 Million Meals movement. I'm a huge pasta eater. I love pasta. So there's this one pasta dish. It's I like pasta alla carbonara. That's a quick fix. And then I like fettuccine alfredo, which my family loves. And then my personal, my favorite and my signature dish is my angel hair pasta with tomato pancetta sauce. I love mixing fruit in with things that usually wouldn't have fruit in them. I have a gazpacho salad that has grapes in it, and there's a bunch of vegetables like bell peppers and onions, and the grapes add a really nice natural sweetness to it. And so I've loved experimenting with fruits. I haven't really cooked fruits that much yet. I like working with them in salads and salsas. I have strawberry salsa. It's really good. But I think I'm gonna actually get to cooking fruits more. I definitely want to go to culinary school. It's a huge dream of mine, just to get that little expertise and all the little fancy things they learn there. And then I want to own my own restaurant and definitely want to have more cookbooks, more because I love food. And I want to have a cookware / chefware line for kids to, it's more a way for kids to get interested in cooking, make a little fun chef pants, a little chefling, yeah. I love it. I love food and I love cooking. Well, honestly, at the time it was more of a hobby, and then I didn't think it'd bloom into something like it is now. And so I was really excited, really. I loved cooking and I just want to share my passion about food with others.
Remmi is so awesome. Her cooking is amazing, and she's a mentor for other teens on Thrive15.com.
If you'd like to pick up Remmi's book or learn more how you can take part in her nationwide bakeout June 27th with Rachel Ray, visit cooktimewithremmi.com.
And that girl had so much energy too. She's pretty good little TV personality as well.
Oh, I bet she'd fit right in with all the characters at the Bridge Studio of Tulsa.
I think she'd need to work on her poker face though.
I don't think you have to have that scary of a face to play Bridge TV, but we'll find out next when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, I'm Robin Porter, owner of Sweetie Pies, and you're watching Explore Tulsa.
If you love getting together with your friends for a fun thing to do, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Stevie. As we stop in at the Bridge Studio of Tulsa, where folks from all around the world stop in each day to play the game that dates back to 1886.
The game was actually called Bridge back then, but don't say it too fast. You're bound to get yourself slapped.
Today, Bridge is played all over the world, and right here in Tulsa, the most competitive players of all meet in the Bridge Studio of Tulsa.
My
My parents played social bridge at the house, and so I got interested in playing and played ever since. Used to play in couples groups. We'd get together on a Friday or Saturday night.
We met in Oklahoma City and in Kansas City. I'd run into these guys that were having so much fun playing bridge. We just got acquainted with them and started playing. Then I started playing with Greg in different places.
Oh, there's hundreds, there's probably thousands all over the country and of course worldwide. People play everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's people playing bridge.
I asked a couple of guys I played with if they knew if there was a bridge club in town. This is when I retired. And so they said, yes, at Park Plaza Shopping Center, they have a bridge club. So I stopped in one night and that's how I got started.
Greg and another man owned it, and the other guy I did some stuff for him. I cooked meals and did different things. Finally, he asked me if I wanted to buy in with Greg, and I said yes. And we've run this place ever since.
It's not a career choice for us. We're both retired. We do it because we have a lot of friends that play bridge. We both enjoy the competition, and it's just a fun place to come and play and enjoy ourselves. The people enjoy playing. As you can tell, a lot of the players are seniors, and like I still enjoy playing golf, for example, but as you get a little older, sometimes you can't do the same things you could when you were in your 20s and 30s. So a lot of the people here are retired and they play competitively.
I like the competition. I like to be able to compete.
We're affiliated with a national organization, and we're broken down into districts and units. Then there are clubs within each unit.
I happen to currently be the president of the district. District 15 is most of parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. There's 8 units in the thing, so I happen to be serving my 2-year term.
If you do well, you get master points. The national organization keeps track of the points. And so a lot of the competition comes into achieving a higher level of what we call life master.
It's based on points that you earn, which some people say is based on attendance. I mean, obviously the better player you are, the more you're going to win, but also time has a lot to do with it. And there's always arguments about is the points best or is the play best or whatever like that, and how often do you play and those kind of things. It keeps your mind active. I think it's a great mental game. It's a lot of logic. Every hand basically is a puzzle, and you're trying to solve a puzzle. And so you sit down, you look at, and there's millions and billions and trillions of possible hands that can come up. And so you look at what's been said and look at what's going on. And it's not like other things where you can hide things. You have to tell your opponents everything you did and what they mean.
The art of bridge is learning to communicate to your partner. It's a partnership game. And as we always say, the only person on your side is your partner, because your opponents are going to try not to allow you to make the contract.
The boards are moved from table to table, and everyone in the room is going to be playing the same set of boards eventually. And so you try to do the best you possibly can on a board.
And you've got to be able to count the cards in all 4 suits and know what's out and what's in.
So if we start out learning how to play bridge, we learn about counting the cards. There's 13 cards in each suit, 13 cards in each hand.
It's more technical here than at home.
They would open the bidding, one of their 4-card minors. In this particular instance, the suits are ranked spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. So if I have 2 touches, the suits that touch, I would open 1 diamond. Now I would be the partner of this particular person, and I would look for one of my 5 or 4-card suits, and I would then respond 1 spade. So this is how the bidding goes back and forth. We are trying to find the best place to play the contract.
In this one, if you get good cards, but you don't play them right, and someone does better than you do, then you don't get a good score.
A lot of times when you lose your spouse, this is a wonderful place to be because you run into a family.
The people, I really enjoy them, and it's been my lifesaver. Fun to come and fun to play, and I love the game.
These people become my friends, and I think that's an important thing for all of us, to have these social connections.
Bridge is one of the #1 things that keep you from getting Alzheimer's. and I was real passionate about that.
I've lived in Tulsa all of my life, and I feel like it's a give back to the community in a lot of ways. We're doing it mostly because we enjoy playing and we enjoy the social atmosphere.
Greg and his wife Rita really have a great setup, but there's no way I could keep up with those serious bridge players.
If you're a little braver than Stevie here, visit their Google site by searching for Bridge Studio of Tulsa.
I think one of the secrets of playing great bridge is to look snazzy.
All the players at Bridge Studio of Tulsa do enjoy making their games a big social event.
That's right, because to play good, you have to look good.
Ooh, and a great place to help make that transition is our next stop. We'll get Stevie looking sharp at Hair FX when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, I'm Rob Lowe, and I have DirecTV.
And I'm overly paranoid Rob Lowe, and I have cable.
No other TV provider scores higher in customer satisfaction than DirecTV.
Cable's got me on hold, which gives me time to figure out what the heck the Petersons are building. What are you up to?
Did you know that DirecTV ranked higher than cable for the 14th year in a row? Did you know they hide listening devices in our cheese?
Get your DirecTV upgrade and custom installation today from Video Revolution, your official Tulsa area DirecTV connection.
You know, I believe it's important to look your best, but I usually don't get as much mirror time as some people on Explore Tulsa do.
You don't need a mirror, you need a magician. And the perfect place for you is with Paul Mitchell ladies at Hair FX.
I've always been interested in doing hair. When I was little, my Barbies got their color done. I used washable markers so they could always have their color changed because they were always ready to play dress up.
I always did hair, everybody's hair, just my whole basketball team, any of my siblings for prom and things like that, and it was always really fun to me. It came like secondhand. So I was an artist in my head in a small town, and it's just kind of the steps I took as going into adulthood. I wanted to have a good living, but also be an artist.
Melissa, my business partner, she's awesome. She is the person that balances me out. We're totally opposite, so she can bring me down to earth when I get crazy. And I love her creativity. She has a really big passion and a drive. She's so creative.
Julia and I are very different. She is definitely a little bit more analytical. She's very black and white, and that works really well with my personality because I'm color everywhere.
I've been here 15 years. She's been here 10 years, so I started first. And when she got here, we hung out a little bit, but we grew over the years. This salon was started by two women. One, Lori, she used to do hair for Paul Mitchell, and the other one used to work for our salon distributor as the consultant. And those two got to know each other because Tammy, the salon consultant, would go into Lori's place, so they decided to open a salon together.
The original owners were a lot different than each other, and they came together and created Hair FX. And then one of the owners had sold her part. She came to us last year and said, okay, I want to sell the salon and I want to sell it to you. And Julie and I took a night, thought about it, came together the next day and said, we can do this, we can do it. And we got together and we did it.
In the past, we weren't always Paul Mitchell. And now we're a Paul Mitchell focused salon. We have a really good team. Everybody really pulls their weight and works together because we all have a passion for the same vision. We do all kinds of hair. We do men's hair, women's hair, crazy hair, regular hair. We just really like to have a lot of fun, and we do it all.
We have so many different groups of people that come in here, anywhere from people who are wanting something rocker to something a little bit more sleek and elegant.
When you come to Hair FX, you really get the experience, the Paul Mitchell culture that we've created. So from the minute you get here, you have your appointment. Everybody's usually pretty good on schedule, on time, so there's not really a long waiting period. And then when you get that shampoo, that lather is awesome. It's really relaxing. You get a nice hot towel. It's just a really nice experience. Time to chill out, rest away from the kids.
I want want our guests to experience a fun salon, a great atmosphere, and a carefree kind of environment. Something that they can feel comfortable and they don't feel like they have to dress up to come and see us, but that they do feel like they're being pampered and cared for. I want them to feel comfortable talking to me about anything. Things that they can't tell the people that are most important in their life, they'll tell their hairstylist. And so I want to be that person to listen.
What I love is when I can step back from a hairstyle that I've done and I just feel like it is awesome. It is really nice to be able to take pictures now and use social media to help promote myself, and that gives me that same feeling as when I was a little girl doing my Barbie doll hair, that excitement, and I've learned something and I finally feel like I've conquered it.
Melissa and Julie take so much care of everyone there, and it's a great time too at HairFX. According to everyone there, Julie has been known to be quite the prankster.
Then you two should get along great. If you'd like to book an appointment or learn more about Melissa and Julie, visit SeriousHair.com.
I'd like to be a hairstylist, but I'm not sure that I can, cut and talk at the same time.
You should try chewing gum and running first, but not with the scissors.
Stick around. There's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner & Associates.
Be sure and join us next week when we check in with Jana J of Hee Haw fame.
Special thanks to Lotzi and her family at the Flying G Ranch.
Well, thanks too to Chef Remmi. Keep up the great work with Cook Time with Remmi and the big nationwide bake-out June 27th with Rachel Ray. And thanks too to Greg and his wife Rita for teaching us a little bit about bridge at the Bridge Studio of Tulsa.
And to Melissa and Julie for showing us all around their hair salon, HairFX.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the two-pair for $129 deal with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.